Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris. And for this message, um, what wants to come through? Well, I want to touch on this little topic and let's see where the message takes us. So, the place that I want to touch on is this place of anger, of when and why you're so angry, and how could you possibly be so righteously angry? How could you possibly express yourself and be loud and to demand to be seen and to be heard and to rectify the injustice that's been done to you, right? Now, there's beautiful systems, external systems that are absolutely necessary to hold you accountable for the way that you've been showing up in this world, in this life. And the thing is, when you don't have the capacity to do that within you, you're going to have people around you to hold you accountable. And no matter how awakened you become or how much you meditate, there are still going to be places that you're blind to. Ideas and stories that you're going to be blind to. The thing is, it's important for you to understand that you're human. And there is this human aspect where it doesn't see what it doesn't see. Now it can become aware of something, but at the same time, it has to be reminded many times over for it to see what it is here to see. And there's that little place that you move into, and the world that you begin to see, and who you become through all of life. How you begin to clear up all of your debts. And debt isn't only in finances, but it's in an accumulation of ignoring the natural flow of energy, the natural flow of abundance, the natural flow of life and death. Um, to have the capacity to move through these places, that is quite important. And it's also important for you to come to a place where you are just on your own. That's it. You're on your own and you get to actually construct your own life. This is what adulthood is, right? Your early 20s, this is what it is. It's you step away from two people that have, you know, gave you a home, showed you the way. And you begin to apply everything that you've learned, everything that you've experienced. And then you begin to see what life actually is. It's when you begin to construct your own life. When the constructs of your life it moves away from an imaginary uh, flow of life and the way that you want to create and do things into then being something physically tangible and experiential, and you become centered enough to move through life, to have the stories, to tell the stories, to actually move through life, for you to make peace with the places that you haven't been able to make peace with, for you to apologize for the way that you've showed up in places and where you may have caused harm, for you to own who you've been, for you to acknowledge that this is who you've been, for you to accept that this is who you've been, and for you to come home, even with all of the faults, all of the humanness, That it's okay for you to make mistakes. And eventually that anger, that those emotions, they begin to quiet down a bit. And you really begin to be you. And you learn what that is like. And you eventually practice that it's okay for you to create life in the way that you see fit. Because it actually rings true for you. And then you begin to meet other people that have similarities or are compatible with what you're exploring with. You don't feel that life because you decided that what motivated you to try something, it changes after. It's not a failure. It's actually successful because you've successfully taken yourself through one journey into another and completely creating a life that you're like, oh, this I can maintain. And sometimes that maintenance, that sustainable life, it's not that it pushes away when something needs to change and die off, but it's fully accepting that it's okay that this is changing and it's okay that you're seeing life differently and it's okay that you're sorry about that. It's okay that you're being exactly who you need to be. And it's okay that life wants to look and feel and move differently for you. And that it's okay for you to just try something else and you know that you're not going to fall to the ground and that it doesn't require you to feel like your world is all falling apart even though it is. And some to some degree it is, but it's not completely everything is falling apart that you have to start all over again no matter what. Like it's none of that BS story. That's not the story anymore. That's not the life, that's not the experience anymore. And it's making peace with this. Making peace with the fact that this is who you are becoming and this is what life is leading and guiding you towards. It's okay that this is how life is moving for you. And it's okay that this is what you want to do with it. And it's okay that this is how you're creating life. And it's okay that the people around you don't agree with you. It's okay. And to some degree, what you're creating is unacceptable as much it is acceptable. That's what makes you human. That's what makes them human. And to a certain degree, you're never going to know why you are put into a certain family dynamic or why you're put into a certain environment, certain work environment to a certain, friend group. Like you don't get it until you move through it all. Like genuinely does not make sense until you move through it all. And so it's important for you to lean more towards the places that stimulate you in a way that you know is true for you. It shifts away from it being good and bad on a general, overall, overarching type of good and bad, um, like constructs, and it goes more into a self-justified and understanding of good and bad. And so you call that truth. And truth being you are always brought back into balance. Now, where you have been off balance and thinking and looking and operating poorly, that you're actually making peace with it and that you're moving through it and you're like, oh wait, I can use a little adjustment here. Oh wait, I need to adjust that little part. And you move through these little places. There's nothing wrong with it. People around you could be kicking and screaming and like trying to get your attention. Like, you're moving the wrong way. What the heck are you doing? But guess what? Live a human life. That is what it means for you to be human. Be creative, mess up, do things, because there is such a thing as going the wrong way, and then life will have no choice but to stop you. And then there's going away when going down a path that is not truth for someone, is not appropriate and the right way. It would be the wrong choices they make, but it's the right choices for you. It's the truth for you. And being discerning, this is where discernment really comes into place. Being discerning of what is for you and what is not for you. And to lean into that, to move through it, to discover and move and navigate through life on your own terms. That's it. Have the capacity, have the courage to live your life. Have the courage to tell your story. Have the courage to say what you like and what you don't like. However, it doesn't mean that it needs to be um, spoken through a microphone. It doesn't need to be spoken through a microphone. But at the same time, it doesn't mean just because it's not being broadcasted that it isn't truth. This is more towards the quality of character that you have in the life that you're building. This is more of the individual work more than that it is the communal work. And sometimes to keep your peace and to keep the community alive and thriving, it does require you to for you to either shift away from that community and space, or for that community and space to disown you and put you out because well, not put you out, but like distance themselves from you because it's not in alignment, it's not in coherence. The thing is, neither are right and wrong. Both have truth in it. Both have deliberately thought through how to operate in truth. Now, yes, everything that I'm saying right now, it definitely can be argued, and it just depends on your perspective, on how you're looking at life. And so, this isn't to say that it's okay to manipulate someone or to gaslight them or to scream at them in their face and say, I am, you're doing something wrong and awful. There is a way to do it where you do um, you get straight to the core, straight to the root, and that person begins to make that change and shift, or that community implements in something else. But that's the thing, it's this is where discernment comes into place. Like, please use this information, use this, what I've said, what I've communicated, just to really be discerning of if it is true for you at this time or not. And it can never be true for you. There is that option too, right? So, like, please do take it with a grain of salt. Um, and I really hope that you're being responsible and not using this as a way to, heal yourself when you really do need to go to a physician to support you. So, yeah. Um, is there anything else that I wanted to say? Okay, I think I've just moved through so many layers that I kind of forgot where I was at. Um, so I am going to be leaving the message here. I know it's a little bit short, but Let's just go with that. And I hope that you were able to take something away from this. Um, yeah. Oh, yes, I was talking about anger, right? Yeah. So this is where, so anger is something that's important. So it looks like I do have something to say. Anger is something that's important. Why is that? And righteous anger on top of that. So what anger does is that teaches you how to be discerning, because it teaches you when you are depleted, when you are giving too much, and when you need nourishment so it can rekindle itself. To gauge your fire, to gauge your anger, it's necessary. And it's a continual practice. It's a daily practice, and every point in your life, it's going to look different. Every stage of your life, it's going to look different. Every scenario in your life, it's going to look different. So truly do have the capacity to practice, have the courage to practice it in a safe way, of course, but have the courage to move through these places of anger, of emotion, and it'll always lead you to truth. So with that, I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.